Welcome to the Big Movement Podcast. If you're ready to create results and make huge strides in your business, finances, personal development, and health, then you're in the right place. Pushing past excuses and powering through procrastination can be a challenge alone. Here, you'll get the support, tools, and knowledge you need to get to the level you desire in your business and life. Let's get started with your host, Byron Ingram.
And welcome to another episode of the podcast. Today, we're going to talk about networking is about relationships. You see, ultimately, networking is one of the most powerful ways anyone can grow a business quickly. However, it is vital to focus on building relationships and not just pitching your offerings. You might be wondering, but doesn't this seem counterintuitive? Your whole purpose is you want to get in front of people to make sales pitches? Well, yes. But here's the thing. You want to make sure you're doing it in front of qualified individuals, not just anybody and everybody. Because one of the things that tends to happen, especially with people who are new to networking or never really studied the science of relationships, is assuming everyone I talk to, I'm going to pitch my product. Where they assume that if you're within 3 feet of me, I am going to pitch you on what I have and you're going to love it. Well, here is the problem and the dilemma as a result of it. It's the quickest way to end up in the no friends left club because people don't want to be pitched. It's just simply not what networking is about, because networking at its core is about building relationships, people that you know that do different things. You can say, hey, give this person a call. You know, they're looking for somebody to do this. If we go in there and say, you're going to like this, or no, it doesn't really work so well. Because you see, when it comes to growing that business, the reason why networking is so powerful is in every major city, and a lot of small ones too, there are countless networking groups that are filled with people who are promoting their business, referring others, and just simply making introductions who could possibly do business with someone that they know. That's the true core of it, because everything I just said there is about relationships. It's not about you simply just get in there and say, okay, all of you are going to listen to me, and then you're going to line up and buy my stuff. That's not really what happens. Because you see, the greatest purpose behind networking groups and why the concept came around in the first place was how can people build relationships? How can they collectively come together to pull their advertising efforts? So when one person is building their business through advertising, you know, in this case, marketing online or offline and so forth, they have that database of clients. And then by coming together through a networking event, then they can refer their clients to other people that they know, like, and trust, who have a service someone that they've done business with ultimately needs. That's the true purpose behind networking. It's not just to simply go there like, I'm going to pitch everybody here because they need my stuff. Well, yes, you're going to be able to generate some sales when you focus on relationships that way, but you don't want to go in there and just pitch right away, because what that results into is someone comes into a group and they look at everybody as a meal ticket, like, okay, you're a steak dinner, you're the appetizer, and yes, you are dessert. You don't want to walk into a group with that mentality, because what happens is very quickly you develop that reputation of, oh, that person just going, they don't want to build a relationship. They don't want to know about your business. All they want to do is sell you on their service. And quickly what happens is people say, oh, no, I'm too busy. I don't want to meet with you. And before you know it, you're kind of like the stepchild who no one wants to be involved with. Like, yeah, we don't want to deal with that person over there because they're the problem per child. They're the one that you kind of think, hey, just don't bathe. So they're ostracized and no one wants to deal with them. Before you know it, they leave. And this happens day in and day out through networking groups across the world, across the country, because they understand the power of relationships and why we have to focus in on them. And you might be wondering, why do we have to step away from trying to quickly sell a room without building relationships? Well, because like I said, you're going to find yourself out of business. But here is the biggest reason of all. People love, and I do mean love, they love to buy, but they hate being sold to. If you think about that there for a moment, just take a look at any Black Friday sale or Cyber Monday that takes place every single year. You look at people buying stuff left and right. People don't have to be sold on anything. They see, like, look, there's a 55-inch TV or whatever the biggest one is, and they want it. They don't have to be pitched on it. Like, they see the deal, they see what it is, they go for it. You have to take that mentality when it comes to your business. How can you position yourself so it becomes an irresistible offer? People say, I must have that. It just makes total sense. I have to have that big TV in my living room. It's going to look real good. It's going to allow me to impress all my friends. They're going to come over here and have TV envy, and they're going to want to spend more time around me so then I can become the popular one. Well, you have to take that same mentality in your business so you can look at what can you do to provide that type of value where people see like, yes, you are the one to be around, because everybody comes to you when they need a problem solved. They need an introduction to somebody that you've got a guy. That is the person that you have to become. That is the reason behind networking. Because here's what happens. In most established networking groups, you see people, they've built relations with anyone in all sorts of industries. So you might be in real estate, you might be in insurance. You're not the first person they talk to, so they have a relationship with somebody. So if you walk in there and say, well, I have the world's greatest product, they're going to look at you like, well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but the guy I built a relationship with before, they have it. So I don't know what you're talking about. And in their mind, they believe their person who they talked to before because they built a relationship. And that's what makes the difference, is when there's a relationship involved, because of the know, like, and trust factor. It trumps everything. They don't want to necessarily deal with someone new. You have to build a relationship. You just can't come in there and say, I'm going to break down your door and you're going to buy my stuff or I'm never going to leave. No, they'll quickly ostracize you and leave you out in the cold. Because you remember, when people buy from those they know, like, and trust, it is important and critical that this must be established first in any networking organization. Doesn't matter if it's a chamber of commerce, doesn't matter if it's a small networking group, it could be a monthly networking event. You have to build up trust with the people that are there. Because when they see the trust and they see the value that you provide, then they want to sit down with you and learn more. Or if you're going to sit down with people, you're contributing to them. That is what makes the difference. Because if you don't follow that process, you end up being left out in the cold. So how can you quickly build the relationships to generate the sales? Well, it's kind of simple. You have to give value first, and then you have earned the right to ask for the sale. It's pretty simple. Because if you do the other approach, where you ask for the sale first, does it mean that it doesn't work? No, it just means that you're not going to be able to generate as many long-term sales as possible. You might get some quick wins because there's some people like, ooh, I really, really need that. But the vast majority of people are going to be like, what the heck? No, I don't want to deal with this person. Get this person away from me. And then they don't do business with you. So that's why you must focus on the relationships. It is super critical that way. So how can you demonstrate that value quickly where someone says, maybe I want to learn a little bit more about you? This comes into that value proposition. If you can look at someone's business and show them ways to save money, ways they can increase their revenue, ways that they could improve the welfare of their employees, then people are listening because they look at it as what's in it for them. That's what everybody cares about. And if you don't tune into that channel and quickly figure out what's important to them, they're not going to care what's important to you, which is ultimately you're selling your product or service. So you must make it a priority to figure out what that is and dial in quickly so you can be able to earn that sale. Because you see, ultimately, the goal of every person, doesn't matter how experienced or new they are to networking, the goal when it comes to journeying business is not to say do business with that person right there. That's a bonus. It's for you to be able to build up the rapport and trust to earn the right to be introduced to that person's sphere of influence. Because if, for example, if each person had an average, let's say, of 250 people that's in that direct sphere, what do you want? That single sale or that being introduced to 250 other people? Personally, I'll go for the 250 other people because that's the gift that keeps on giving, that you can continuously grow and prosper in business through that way. Because if you are not doing this currently, then you must, and I mean it, you absolutely must make this your number one priority if you want to succeed in business in terms of generating referrals that can help supplement any advertising efforts that you are doing to grow your business. So do me a favor, if you enjoyed this today, and I know you did, go ahead and hit that like button and hit that share button, because there's someone out there who needs to hear this message so that way they can grow their business and be prosperous in this year and the years to come.
Thanks for listening to the Big Movement Podcast today. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Now that you've surely been inspired to take your entrepreneurial career and business to the next level, you can stop by the website and get more. And if you're ready to boost your business brand, be sure to grab your free report, 7 Easy Steps to Build Your Brand Today.